Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Ellaru undo?
Hare
Everybody
Krishna
is
Prabhu.
there? Yes. So shall we start?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu, you can start.
Yes.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamutiraye. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, nice to meet you all. Satvika, Sri Hari, everybody is here. Okay, Hare Krishna, very nice. So today we are going to discuss between what is selfishness and what is selflessness. You all know selfishness, right? Yeah, if you know, you have a chat box, you can type yes, no, whatever. Then I will understand what you are going to say. So you all know what is meant by selfishness. Okay? Yes. We wanted to enjoy for our own self is selfishness. Okay? So actually, if somebody is a, what do you say, a religious person or a spiritual person, the person is not selfish but as selfless, right? So to understand this, I will tell you a story. One day when Buddha, Lord Buddha was walking by, he saw a nice, what do you say, flower garden, nice rose flower garden, beautiful, beautiful roses everywhere, beautiful garden. And he saw many people there. So people, what they were doing, slowly, some of them, they were plucking the roses one by one, and somebody keeping on their head, somebody is keeping in their pocket, somebody is, pinning it to their coat. So people are doing different things. Some people were taking the roses, some people taking some beautiful flowers, and they were all saying, I like roses, I like those flowers, I like this, I like this, I like this, like that. Then Buddha saw a gardener walking through that place, through the garden, and he is pouring water to each and every plant. The gardener is pouring water to each and every plant, and he said, I love roses. Others said, I like roses, and they plucked and kept it in their pocket. Right? See, when we say, I like something, then immediately we try to make that thing our own. Like, take the rose and make it my own rose. But when the gardener said, I love roses, what he did not pluck the rose for himself. He left it in the plant and he was pouring water. You understood? So what is really great? Like or love? You type in your chat box. Which is really great? Like or love? Because when the people, they said, I like roses, they were plucking and they're trying to enjoy for themselves. But when the gardener said, I love roses, what he did, he started pouring water, right? So a devotee or a spiritual person is one step higher. He is not trying to be happy for himself. He wants everyone to be happy. But there are some other people, they want themselves to be very happy, but they don't care about others. A spiritual person, he wants to be happy and he wants everyone to be happy, right? Now you tell me which is right. You want to be happy alone, or you want everyone to be happy? So if you say everyone should be happy, then type all. If you say only I should be happy, then type only I. If you want everyone to be happy, then it should be all. If you want only yourself to be happy, then type I. Which is good? Yes, correct. We want everyone to be happy. So normal people, they want themselves to be happy, whereas a devotee or a religious spiritual person, he wants everyone to be happy. Okay? So when Buddha was a young boy, his name was Devavrata. You are listening to the story. If you are listening, just shake your head. Everybody? Yeah, good. So when Buddha was a young boy, his name was Devavrata, very silent. He's not naughty like all of you. Very silent, sober, very sweet boy, Buddha. And his name was Devavrata. Okay. So one day, he had as a brother, cousin brother, they both of them were like, walking. And his brother had bows and arrows on his shoulder. And Buddha, when he was young, his name was Devavrata. And Devavrata and his cousin brother, both of them were walking. And when they were walking, the brother had bows and arrows on his shoulder. And they saw a beautiful dove. It's flying from one tree to another, white, like milkish color, pure white. And this bird was like flying from one tree to another. And suddenly this boy, the brother, what he did, he took his bow and arrow and he was aiming at the bird. And he was aiming at the bird, and when the bird settled on the branch of a tree, he shot an arrow. The arrow went and hit the bird, hit the air. And the bird was like flapping its wings and struggling for life. Then Devavrata, who is Devavrata? Type in your box, who is Devavrata? I told you just now, yes, Buddha. Devavrata was Buddha. So when Devavrata saw this, he felt very bad. He very upset. He saw the bird, flapping its wings and struggling for life. And yes, true, correct. Thank you for the answers. It was struggling and flapping his wings and, striving. And Devavrata felt so upset. He ran, took the bird and pulled that arrow out. And immediately he took green leaves and started putting medicine, trying to give some water to the bird. And he was keeping the bird with himself. Then the cousin brother said, I shot the bird, give it to me. And Devavrata, Buddha said, I'm not going to give it to you, it is mine. But brother said, no, I only shot the bird from the tree, so give it to me, it belongs to me. Buddha said, no, I saved the bird, so I will not give, so I will have the bird. Yes, correct, your answers are right. So both of them were arguing, right? So whom do you think the bird belongs to? Type in the box, brother or Buddha. Whom do you think the bird belongs to? Because the brother was saying, I shot the bird, I need the bird. But the younger one Buddha was saying, I saved the bird, so I need the bird. Okay, then both of them went, yes, your answers are right. Both of them went to the king. And the king said, my dear Devavrata, see, your brother only shot the bird, no? So bird belongs to him. Your brother shot the bird. give the bird to your brother, it belongs to your brother. Then this young Buddha, Devavrata, asked a very intelligent question. He asked, my dear king, for whom does the bird belong? The man who shot or man who saved? Whose bird is that? Then the king became so silent. Wow, this young boy, Devavrata, is asking an intelligent question. Yes, my dear son, definitely the bird belongs to the person who saved it, not the person who shot it, to the person who saved it. So the bird was given to Buddha. So what Devavrata Buddha did? He cured it, applied medicine. Then when the bird became okay, healthy, he threw the bird again up in the sky and it happily flew away. So this is real life, a selfless life. What selfish people will think, give me, I want this, my box, my pencil, my thing, I don't give it to anybody, it's mine, mine, they don't share with anyone. They wanted to make things themselves, possess, it's mine, I don't show you, I don't give it to anybody, it's mine, mine, mine. They are selfish people. But Buddha, he wanted everyone to be happy. He is a selfless person. So a devotee is selfish or selfless? Type in the chat box. A devotee is selfish or selfless? Who's a devotee? Selfish? Aye. Yeah, selfless. Correct. So Buddha was selfless because he wanted to be happy. He wanted everybody to be happy. So he made the bird also happy. And the king gave the bird to him. All right. So there was one king like this. You know, Pandavas, 5 of them are there. Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva. Out of the 5, who is really selfless? Tell me. Name, type. Out of the 5 Pandavas, who is the real selfless king? Type chat fast. Jaydev typed the right answer. Anantajit, correct. Yes, Vasudha, correct. No, Vasudha, you are wrong. Who is the selfless person? Abhay, type fast. You are still searching. Who? Yes, Yudhishthira, correct. Yudhishthira was a selfless king. Very good. You all typed the right answer. So Yudhishthira was a selfless king. Because he was selfless, he didn't have enemies at all. No enemy, zero enemy. Yudhishthira never had an enemy because he was selfless. Now I tell you a beautiful story. Yeah, you all typed the right answer. Very good. Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira is the selfless king. Now I will tell you a beautiful story from Mahabharata. You all know Draupadi. If you know, shake your head. You all know Draupadi? Yes, you all know Draupadi. You don't know Draupadi? Draupadi is Pandava's wife, Arjuna's wife. Okay. Understood? So yeah, Draupadi is Arjuna's wife, Pandava's wife. So yes, you are all shaking head. Thank you. Very good. So you know who is that. So Draupadi had 5 baby children. She had tiny children. You like children, kids, baby kids, cute kids. You like cute kids? Yeah, you all like cute kids. Yes. Somebody like, Ayati Satvika. Like that cute babies, no? So Draupadi had 5 children and all the 5 were so cute and very charming, intelligent kids. Okay. So what happened when they were sleeping, when the kids were sleeping, there was one boy called Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama, he was a warrior and he was in opposite party. He was in Duryodhana's party, Ashwatthama. So what this Ashwatthama did, he went when the babies were sleeping, when the children were sleeping in the night, he went inside the tent. He went inside the tent and pulled out his sword. He pulled out his sword and chopped all the 5 children into hundreds of pieces. Who did that? Who did that? Type in the chat box. Who did that? Yes, correct. Ashwatthama did that. Right. Ashwatthama. Correct. So Ashwatthama pulled his sword and chopped up all the babies into hundreds and hundreds of pieces. And the babies were lying dead in the pool of blood. There was blood all over the bed, you know. And not only that, Ashwatthama came out of the tent and set fire to the whole tent. The whole tent was burning, you know. Then Krishna came to know this. Is it a right thing or a wrong thing? Ashwatthama killing 5 innocent babies. Type, is it right? Wrong. Yes, you all know it is a wrong thing. And the babies were sleeping. You know, and Ashwatthama burnt as Jaidev. Very good. Thank you. Everybody type the right answer. So all the babies were dead and they turned into ashes in the fire. Then Krishna came to know this. And Krishna became very angry. He caught Ashwatthama and he dragged him, pulled him in front of Draupadi. And Krishna told Bhima, take out your sword. And Bhima pulled his sword. And Bhima said, Krishna, let us kill this wretched person, sinful man. Let us kill him into 100 pieces, cut him into 100 pieces. We will peel his skin out, we will kill him, we will do this, we will do that. And Krishna also said, yes, okay, you kill him. You know, then Draupadi came and said, my dear Krishna, please don't kill Ashwatthama. Then Krishna asked Draupadi, why are you saying no? This man, this sinful man had killed all your babies. He killed 5 of your children. Why are you saying no? Then Draupadi said, no, Krishna, please don't kill him, because you know how much I am crying. My sons were killed. You know, my sons are dead. You know how much I am feeling bad and how much I am crying. In the same way, Ashwatthama's mother will also cry. If you kill him now, no, his mother will also be crying like me. I don't want to see his mother suffering like me. I don't want to see his mother crying and falling on the ground like me. So please, Krishna, don't hurt him. Don't kill him. You send him back to his mother. Now you tell me who is right, Draupadi or Bhima? Bhima said, Krishna, kill that Ashwatthama, kill that Ashwatthama. But then Draupadi said, don't kill. Why you all answered Draupadi? What quality Draupadi had? Type in the chat box. What quality Draupadi had? Kindness, yes, kindness, but selfless is the right word. Very good. Selfless, correct. Because Draupadi wanted everyone to be happy. Draupadi wanted even Ashwatthama's mother to be happy. Even though Ashwatthama did something wrong, still Draupadi forgiven him. You understood? So, when you punish someone, you are right. But when you forgive someone, you are perfect. You understood? When you punish someone for their wrongdoings, you are right. But when you forgive someone for their wrongdoings, you are perfect. You understood? If you have understood, please shake your head. If somebody has done something wrong, yes. And if you have punished them, then you are right. But somebody has done something wrong, and you have forgiven them, you are perfect. Now you tell me, Draupadi was right or perfect? Type in the chat box. Was Draupadi right or perfect? Yes, good. Draupadi was perfect. We don't want to be right and wrong. We all want to be perfect. Devotees should be perfect. So Draupadi, what she did, said, Krishna, don't punish Ashwatthama. He did something wrong, but please leave him. If you kill him, his mother will be crying. Please forgive him. So devotees have to develop this wonderful quality. Okay, being selfless, not selfish. We want to become selfless like Draupadi. Okay, there is one more story in Bhagavatam. There was a king called Rantideva. Have you heard this name? If you have heard this name, shake your head. The king's name was Rantideva. Have you heard? No, many of you have not heard. Some of you have heard. Okay, there is one king called Rantideva. Arunpal Prabhu's son is aram se sitting and enjoying, relaxing. Aditya. Okay, I think he slept off or something in the class. Okay. Yes, I was talking about Rantideva. You know? So this Rantideva, he said, for the benefit, one day he saw, Rantideva saw people were begging for food on the street. Have you seen beggars? Have you seen beggars? If you have seen beggars, shake your head. Have you seen beggars? Yes, you all have seen beggars, right? In India, though, many are there. Maybe in Dubai, you don't have beggars, but in India, so many beggars are there. And I am also one of the beggar, okay? I am also a beggar only. So in India, you can see many beggars, okay? So Rantideva saw there are people begging on the street. And there are some people starving, no food. And he saw people are suffering, people are fighting, people don't have food, people were suffering, people were starving. And Rantideva saw all these things and he prayed to God. He said, Krishna, make everyone in this world happy and I will suffer all that on behalf of them. Give me all the sufferings, you know. So how much ever people are there in this universe, how much ever jivas, living entities, people are there in this universe, give all that suffering to me. I will suffer. But Krishna, make all the citizens happy. Was Rantideva selfish or selfless? Was Rantideva selfish? Type your answers and you will get the best first prize. A golden car. Thank you. Okay. Very good. Yes, Rantideva was selfless. Because Rantideva could not see people suffering. Because a true spiritual man, can you see if somebody is killing a chicken right in front of you? Can you go and see? If somebody is cutting a goat in front of you, can you stand there and watch? Type yes or no. If somebody is cutting a goat or chicken, we can't watch because you can see that animal struggling with pain, right? Yes, tried. Gautam has typed no, so many O's behind. Thank you. Yes, we can't. True. We can't. A devotee cannot see others suffering. So Rantideva said, Krishna, give me all the problems. Let all the problems you give me, I will suffer, but make people happy. And for this, Rantideva went on a fasting for so many days without even drinking water. No water. Full fasting. Have you ever tried Nirjala Ekadashi, full fasting without even drinking water? Have you tried? No. Oh, somebody, Malvika tried. Anirudh, no. First time what I did when I took this, Nirjala Ekadashi, you cannot drink even water for the whole day. Next day morning only you are supposed to drink water, and that is the first Nirjala Ekadashi for me. And by evening 5 o'clock itself, my fingers are all drained. And I was like, whole day I was thinking, where is food? Where is food? Where is food? And everybody in the temple are not drinking water, not eating food. Then what I did, night 11 o'clock, when everyone slept off, I slowly went to the kitchen to eat something off. Because I'm not able to fast whole day. Then I slowly, without making any noise, I went inside the kitchen. Then I saw everyone was sleeping. Then I tiptoed and went inside the kitchen, and slowly in the dark, I opened the refrigerator. And you know, there is a light inside the fridge, right? So when I opened the fridge slowly, I could see another three devotees are sitting in the kitchen and eating in the night. You know, it is very difficult to fast. But this king Rantideva said, Krishna, give all the problems to me and let them all be happy. I will suffer for them. And he started fasting. So many days continuously, not drink water, not eating food. You know, he was fasting for days and days together, not eating, not drinking. And finally, he took something like 40 days, 50 days, so many days of fasting. And finally, he's going to break the fast with a feast. He's having a nice sadhya, big feast, you know. And he was about to, after so many days, no, he was about to eat. Then Indra and all the devas thought, let us check this person whether he is correct, truthful or not. Let us check him. So what happened? First Indra came like a poor man. He said, oh Maharaja Rantideva, I have not eaten food for 3 days. I am starving. I have not seen food for 3 days. This man has not seen food for 3 days. The king has not seen food for 40 days, right? But still he begged, oh Maharaja Rantideva, please, please, please give me some food. So Rantideva immediately felt so bad. Are, this beggar has not eaten food for 3 days. Immediately what Rantideva did? He gave half of the food for him. Okay, eat and be happy, you go. And the beggar took half of the food and he walked off. Then he was going to eat the other half, second half. When he was about to eat the second half, another deva, Chandra or somebody, another deva, he came like a poor man with old man with a stick, and his body is frailing and shivering. He said, Rantideva, you have something to eat. I have not taken food. So Rantideva felt very bad. Are, see this elderly man, old man, he has not taken. So he gave the balanced food to him also. This Rantideva has not eaten for 40 days. He gave the second portion also. And finally, he had only a pot of water. So the king thought, okay, let me drink this water. He took the pot of water, jug of water to drink. He saw a Chandala, a man, you know, shabby looking, unclean, dirty, unkept, and with so many dogs around him. You know, he came and it was like a dirty looking person. And he is also a deva, took that form. A very dirty looking person. And when he came, normally what we will do, we will avoid these kind of people. And he said, Rantideva, I am so thirsty. Can you give me water to drink? So Rantideva, he has not eaten food for 40 days. He was starving. He has not taken water also. But he felt so affection and so pity for these people. Why these people are suffering in this world? And he gave his water to him. And that man with the dogs drank the water and we moved away. Then all the three, they assumed their original form and said, Rantideva, we are testing. See, you know, selfish person always wants himself to be happy. Selfless man wants everyone to be happy, right? He wants everyone to be happy, right? So now this is the question. Are you the society or are you part of the society? I will explain once again. Are you an independent person who wants to live for yourself, or are you part of this earth? By being happy, you make others happy. By others being happy, you become happy. Are you a part of the earth or are you living for yourself? You can, if you say you are living for yourself, you type I. If you say I am part of this nature, then type part. Are you living for yourself or are you part of this nature? Yes, we are part of nature. Now, please listen to this last portion very carefully. This story was told by Prabhupada. This story, please listen carefully. A man had eaten nice food, heavy sadhya he has eaten, full tummy, like, that Girija Mataji and all makes feast once in a while, nice feast they make. Then Tara Mataji makes nice, Rasagulla, Gulab Jamun, and all they. So one day they ate nice feast, and this man went to sleep. And when he was sleeping, yummy Rasagulla, correct. So when this man was sleeping, slowly the hand started talking. The hand told, I am the boss of the body. The story was told by whom? Who told the story? Type in the chat box. Who told the story? One person, two, three, right. Correct, you got it. Prabhupada said the story. Very good. So when this man was sleeping, the hand said, I am the leader of this body because I am doing all the job. I am taking the food. I am cutting vegetables. I only work on computer. I take the phone. I drive the car. So hand is the boss. The hand said, I am the boss. The hand said. Then immediately tummy said, stomach, belly said, Are, you are not the boss. I am the boss because I am storing the food. I am storing the food and I give energy to the whole body. I am like the treasure house. The tummy said, I am the boss. Then immediately mouth said, no, you people are nothing. I am the boss. Because I am speaking, you get food. Because I am eating, you get the food. So I am the boss. Then I said, you stupid idiots, I am the boss because I am the person seeing. I am taking you everywhere. I tell you what is black and white. I tell you green, red, I tell you everything. I am the boss. Then head said, master of this body. So all the limbs started fighting. Hand said, I am the boss. The leg said, I am the boss. The tail, tummy said, I am the boss. And this thing, that thing. Everybody started fighting. So now you answer me, who is the boss of the body? Hand, leg, eye, ear, tongue, mouth. Who is the king of the body? Who is the king of the body? Yes. Then the man woke up from the sleep. He said, shut up. You all keep quiet. The soul said, I am the master of the body, right? So now you know, soul, correct. You all answered right. Soul is the master of the body. But each and every limb has to cooperate. Then only the body will function. Yes or no? Everybody is part of the body, right? So the hand has to cooperate with the body. The leg has to cooperate with the body. The tongue, the eye, the ear, every limb has to cooperate with the body. You cannot stand separate. In the same way, my dear younger brothers and sisters, we are part of this nature. If nature is happy, we are happy. If I am happy, I will try to make the nature happy. Once the nature becomes happy, I am happy. You understood? Is that clear? So I or part of the earth, which is correct. I or part of the earth, which is right. I or part of the earth. Yes, we are all part of the earth. So to understand that, we have to become selfless, like Buddha did. He saved the dove, pigeon, so he became selfless. By becoming selfless, I will be happy, then everyone together will be happy. If I become selfish, only I will be happy, and gradually I will become in a part of misery. Everybody will be worried. Okay? Is that clear now? Yes or no? Yes. So today's lesson is we should become selfless. We want everyone to be happy. By making everyone happy, we will also become happy. And to become that selfless, every day we should pray to God 10 minutes at least, 15 minutes at least. Only by praying to God, we become selfless. Otherwise, we will become selfish and miseries will come and attack us. Okay? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Now, if you have questions, you can type in the chat box or you can turn your